improve yourself. Exactly.
You started investing in real estate, and it obviously was not in the beaches in Toronto. It was in the U.S.
Yes.
Basically. So.
Yes. So we started actually investing in vacation properties first.
Oh.
So we have a vacation property as well, and that was about 5 years ago. And then I started investing in Detroit. And that is with a joint venture partner.
Yes.
That I became an equity partner into that venture as well. So that was an opportunity that I didn't know about, I wasn't comfortable with, but the person that introduced me to it, I became very comfortable with what he was suggesting and brought it to my husband to say, I'd like to do this. And my husband was don't know about this. Yeah. So he acquiesced and he said, yes, we will take a portion of some of our money and we will do this and we'll see how it goes. And it's going extremely well.
Well, we have a slide of your building in Detroit. That would be great if we could pull that up. Now, I can't entirely blame your husband for having some initial reactions of worry. Detroit, being one. Either the viewers are, wow, Detroit, amazing, or yikes, never, not on my best day. And then also the price point. So as we look at this property, we are seeing this was $21,000 for a 42-unit apartment building. Like, that's insane.
Yes. Well, and I don't know if a lot of your viewers know, but Detroit went bankrupt.
Yes.
So it was this person that had started this venture buying up property in okay areas in Detroit because Detroit had gone bankrupt. So the value of the homes and the properties were either on auction themselves or they were just so incredibly dirt cheap to pick up, but they were still extremely good foundations and bones of a home or apartment buildings.
Absolutely.
So it was an opportunity that he took over, and then he offered this opportunity for other people to buy into the shares.
Right. So you weren't doing like the renovating, or you weren't going down to Detroit and picking up houses.
So you didn't have to drive to Detroit every weekend with a hammer in your hand?
He does that. He does. Your partner. He had my partner, and he has a management company down there that works on it and finds the homes.
And so what? Sorry to mean to interrupt. But so why did you settle up with him? Why did you not do this on your own?
Oh well, I have other focuses and other things, and I didn't know really what I was doing. It was the very first foray into something like this, and he presented the numbers to us, and it's you start having a rapport and you develop a relationship, and it's a trust factor.
Right.
And it made sense. Detroit was at its bankruptcy level. It had to increase. It's no longer bankrupt, so it's doing very, very well. So we went in right at the very bottom of the cheap market and buy low and sell high. It's the kind of concept, and it was a very good opportunity.
And that's just the fundamentals of real estate or anything in business. You buy low and you sell high.
If you can.
If you can. But it sounds like your business partner was really an innovator.
Yes.
Which is fantastic, because a lot of people would think it'd be reckless to buy in a city that is gone bankrupt.
Yes.
But he does not sound like he was reckless at all. He sounds like he was analyzing the market. Yeah. And we often say real estate's not a blanket market. And it could be down to such a micro level that Detroit could be analyzed street by street.
Yes. Yes, there's so many different areas.
It's amazing what you can accomplish with, maybe you're not an expert on a certain area, but you can partner up with other people who know what they're doing.
Right.
You also mentioned he formed a team.
Yes.
You always need a team on the ground. I think that's brilliant.
Yes.
And then he manages his team.
Yes.
And you, as the passive joint venture partner, get the financial gains.
Exactly. So we became an equity partner in it. So we now own equity in that venture. So,
and looking at that slide that we just had up a few moments ago, speaking of equity, did your husband at some point question the reality of these numbers? Buying a $21,000, a 42-unit building, and adding enough value to it to make it worth, I believe it's at $2 million?
It's going to be worth $2 million after the 5 years after it was bought, 5 years later. That's a projection. It's going to be worth
from $20,000?
$21,000.
So what kind of questions did your conservative husband ask your partner to make sure that this was a legitimate opportunity?
Yes, well, and it's because of where it was too. That was the biggest concern, that Detroit was not going to bounce back. So we would lose our money. It was in a crime-ridden area, and it's not. So the person that we invested invested this with, he had vetted the properties. He had a management team on site. They know how to fill the apartment units with renters. So you're not going to, the value of the building, there's investment that goes in, and then there's money that gets reinvested into the building, and this upward spiral of value happens.
The reinvestment happens from the cash flow. Is
That's
that
right.
correct? I
That's
think we
right.
have a slide to show the cash
That's
flow
right.
as well. Can you walk us through those numbers?
Sure. So the cash flow is basically the monthly revenue from rentals is about $33,000, and the monthly expenses is $15,000. So if conservatively, so there's $18,000 then to use to reinvest into the business, into that unit, or into that apartment building, or even invest into other opportunities.
Right, to redeploy those funds into something else.
Totally, and that's where we are right now. So the group of us, are now reinvesting in other opportunities, and we're growing.
So your cash flow numbers, your projections prove to be pretty accurate
It's great.
projection?
Yeah, it's great. Yes.
That's great.
Yeah, we're having a very nice return.
And this is just one building out of
Yes.
33
That's right.
that you invested
That's
in
right.
with your partner
Yes.
in Detroit.
Yes, and we're looking at more buildings.
I bet.
Wow. So more buildings are part of your
Yes.
long-term plan with this.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
So is Detroit now the market of focus for you? Because we often talk about investing in real estate is about becoming a market area expert. Are you sticking to that knowledge of that market, or are you broadening your scope?
We are sticking to Detroit for now. Detroit's market value is going up, so the opportunities are lessening. But that doesn't mean that there's still not opportunities. So we are always looking for other people that want to come invest with us as well. So putting it out there, that any of your viewerships that want to be interested in that, it's putting it out there. But we are also looking at other places to also invest.
In the
It's
States as well?
In the States.
Yeah.
Yes.
Leveraging the expertise you already have.
Yes, it's just cookie cuttering it to another location.
All
Phenomenal
right. Well,
systems.
we're going to hold it right there. Please stay with us. We'll be right after a short break to discuss some tips Claudia has for aspiring female entrepreneurs.